to facilitate.
We are here to facilitate.
Participation.
Participation.
We are not here.
We are not here
to tell anyone what to do.
to tell anyone what to do.
We are striving for consensus.
We are striving for consensus.
Is everyone okay with that?
Is everyone okay with that?
The reason why we use a consensus model instead of a 51% majority is because we want our General Assemblies to be an inclusive environment where all ideas and thoughts are heard and where disagreements or differing opinions are addressed and discussed. We don't want to come in and tell everybody else what they need to be doing. We're all here for the same reasons. Things are wrong with society, and we all basically have the same point of view. So there's no reason to have a 51% majority. We can all come to some type of consensus somewhere along the line.
This is a proposal. Of one consensus model. And is open to blocks.
Block. I have a fundamental disagreement with the proposal that must be addressed and has not been resolved.
A block always stops a proposal from being agreed upon. It expresses an objection. You cannot live with that proposal.
The percentage that is needed to pass a resolution here, we operate on a modified consensus model. So it's a 90-10% consensus model, which means that as long as less than 10% of the people disagree and there are no blocks, then the General Assembly is considered to have reached consensus on a proposal.
Consensus is a decision-making process.
That attempts to be inclusive. And accommodating of the desires. And needs of an entire group.
Do you think you'll be able to pass any resolutions with a percentage that high?
Yeah, actually, there's probably only 2 more mechanisms we need to actually approve by the General Assembly to have them within our consensus model, and then we have a solid consensus model that will actually be able to come to resolutions and make real decisions. Right now, 2 days ago was the first time we started talking about real issues as opposed to talking about the procedure on how we're going to talk about what we're talking about in the General Assembly. So I ask people not to confuse the complexity of this mode of discussion with chaos. It just takes a little bit of extra time, which I feel is well worth it. With the claim that people say that Occupy Vancouver doesn't have a specific focus, I would say that we do have a focus. Everyone's here for the same reasons. We're all here because of the 99%. The reason why people say that we don't have a focus is because of the model of consensus that we use. We can't make blanket statements for everybody using that consensus model. So that again goes back to the complexity of the model, and in trying to get everyone to reach consensus, it does take a little bit of time. But that doesn't mean we don't have a focus. It just means we can't go on television and tell everyone this is why we're here, because we can't speak for other people.
We, the 99%, come together with our diverse experiences to transform an unfair, unequal, growing disparity in the distribution of power and wealth in our city and around the globe. We challenge corporate greed, corruption, and the collusion between corporate power and government. We oppose the systemic inequality, militarization, environmental destruction, and erosion of civil liberties and human rights. We seek economic security, genuine equality, and the protection of the environment for all. We are inspired in solidarity with the global movements, including those across the Middle East, Europe, Occupy Wall Street, Occupy Together movement in over 1,000 cities in North America. Injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. We humbly acknowledge that Occupy Vancouver is taking place on First Nations territories. We wish to unite the world as one, where we are all equal and Mother Earth is respected. We are committed to an inclusive and welcoming space to addressing issues of oppression, discrimination, and creating an environment where all the 99% can be heard and meaningfully participate. We are committed to safeguarding our collective well-being, including the safety from interpersonal violence and any potential police violence. We want peace.